Welcome everybody to Food and Nutrition. We are going to be looking at the certificate in Food Science and Nutrition. Looking forward to working with you all in September. Strange times, but hopefully things will get back to normal as quickly as possible. I'm going to be showing you a PowerPoint. The PowerPoint is going to give us an idea of what's going on in the course. Okay, so a little bit of an icebreaker here. This should take you probably a couple of minutes. It's looking at the name of dishes that you need to think. So you need to just go through, and then on the next slide, there will be the answers. So I'm going to move on to the next slide, and the answers are there for you. So you can have a look and see how you got on with that. So the next thing is, okay, so what we'll be doing over the next 2 years. In Year 12, there are 2 units that we have to do. The first one is the exam, and the exam is worth 25% of your final grade. You will need to revise very well. You need to make sure that you're taking notes, okay, throughout the lessons that we do. This will include practical work as well, because obviously sometimes when we are looking at different things, for example, protein, that it is a good idea to do a practical so we can see actually how the protein works in food. So there will be practicals within that element as well. There is going to be a great deal to take on board. Okay, we'll be looking at microorganisms and food safety. We were looking at food safety, so allergenics and food-related illnesses. There will be food safety in practice. So when you're cooking, what you need to think about where the food safety is concerned regarding food and yourself and the environment. We'll be looking at the understanding properties of nutrients, the structure, the classification of nutrients, food production methods, and their effects on nutrients. There are quite a few sections within this. So we'll be looking at nutrition needs of humans. So why do we need it? What's the function? If we don't have enough of the nutrients, what happens to our body then? And also the different amounts of nutrients we need in specific groups. There'll be different diets, menu planning, preparation of cooking techniques, so the tools that are needed for that kind of thing, the preparation of commodities, and then advanced techniques in commodity preparation. Commodities is another word for food. Okay, so if you hear that term, it is going to be, we're talking about food in that respect. You've got quality assurance, advanced cooking techniques, advanced preparation techniques, because within your other assessments, presentation is going to be a key factor. And then we are going to look at different recipes, and that's where your practicals will come in. Some I will steer you to make. Others I'm going to be leaving you to come up with the ideal dishes that you think would cover that particular subject. Okay, so that is kind of a rough idea of what the exam is going to be. There is going to be a lot in there, so you need to be taking note on that. The next one is the internal assessment. And the internal assessment is where you're given a task, very much like if you did food in year 11, you'll be given a task that you have to research. This is just an example. So the work with a local playgroup to produce meals that could be served to the young children. Not only would the dishes have to be nutritionally suitable, they would also have to be presented in a way that would appeal to children. Now, this is where you're going to have to break it down very, very carefully. You're going to have to look at all the elements within that. So you've got playgroup. So what kind of age group is that going to be? Okay. What kind of dishes are going to be suitably nutritious for that particular age group? How would you present it? So would you just put it on a plate, or would you think about how you could make that meal look appealing to children to make them want to eat it? Because as young children, getting them to eat vegetables and all that healthy food is always a challenge. So that's the kind of thing you'll have to think about. You will have to put together a time plan, very much like you did in year 11. Some of the things will follow on from year 11, some of the processes that you will have to go through, but they will be a lot more detailed. The nutritional side of it is going to be a lot more detailed. So you will need to think very carefully about the amount of written work that will be involved. So in year 13, Unit 2 is compulsory, and Unit 3 has more practical elements looking at the science of food. So Unit 2 is ensuring food is safe to eat. Now, this is a written assessment. You don't do practicals within this, but it is an 8-hour internal assessment where you complete it in 8 hours. It then gets sent off to the exam board to be marked. Okay, I don't mark this one, the exam board do. And again, this is an example. You work with a local nursing home that prepares and serves food to a wide range of clients, many of whom have health issues. You are asked to produce an induction leaflet for trainee employees who will be involved in making and serving the food. It's describing food hazards, safety hazards, and appropriate control measures that should be in place. So you will be putting together an induction leaflet for trainee employees. This is going to be very detailed. Okay, again, this is looking at the health and safety of food, how it has to be prepared, the processes that you have to go through, and then how it's served. Okay, because remember, if it's a nursing home, they are all going to be eating meals slightly different. Could be some could be liquidized down, some could be whole, some could be still, because you have to think about their way of life. Okay, some might be a lot more mobile, where others are relying on sitting in a chair. So again, their diet was going to be slightly different because of their bodily functions, etc. So there is going to be an awful lot to think about when it comes to put an induction leaflet together. That will be an 8-hour process where you will have no use of the internet within that 8 hours, but you can research outside of that 8 hours within the classroom. Okay, so this is going to be really reliant on you doing your own research, gathering all that research. You can take it all in with you, but you cannot use the internet when it comes to doing the actual write-up. So you need to make sure all your notes are up to date with that. And then the last unit is Unit 3, experimenting to solve food production problems. So this is going to be an experimental one. You can cook dishes within that. So this is an example task yet again. You work with a major catering organisation tendering for the catering contract of a high-profile event, such as a gala dinner for the sponsors of the Grand Prix. The organiser wants high-quality homemade products, but is concerned with how high-quality sources will be achieved. You will consider an experiment with the variables involved in the production of sauces that may accompany the dishes and present your findings, along with the dishes to be team preparing the tender. Okay, so this is where you're going to have to look into the keywords in there. Are source is a source. Okay, quality sources. So you're going to look at the different types of sauces that could be served. Okay, remember, it's a gala dinner, so it's going to be a high quality meal. So you're going to look at the type of sources, and that's, as I say, is an example of the units. So you've got 4 units. One's an exam, one is a written one, and then 2 has practical elements within that. But remember, when we're doing the exam work, we are going to be doing practicals within that as well. Okay, so every week, this is extended work. You will be required to prepare work for the next lesson. So tasks will include time plans, finding recipes, nutrition analysis, presentations, research, exam questions, web searches, and wider reading. The more you find outside of the lesson, the more you will know and achieve the high grades in your qualification. Remember, your quality of cooking is going to be very important, because the presentation, the skills within that, again, it's taking on from year 11, the skill factor, but you will also have to be writing up the different types of skills that you are using to find the answer that you're looking for. Everything you cook is an experimental type of dish, and you have to really focus on the high quality of the dishes that you're going to present. Okay, so I've come to the end of that. I'm now going to go through what you are going to do for the summer. Now, the summer is really important. This is going to get you started, okay, and it's going to be assessed. So when you bring it in September, I am going to assess it by the amount of quality that's gone into it, the research, okay, and how you've laid it out. Now, the one thing I would say is you're going to put together a recipe book. And one thing that would be really, really good, because you've got like now through to the summer, is actually cook the dish and take a photograph of the dish that you've cooked. So what I'm asking you to do, okay, is you've chosen to do this subject, so you clearly have an interest to impress everyone. Okay, I know it says summer 2018, but I couldn't get it to change, so I apologise for that. There has been an increase in the number of companies such as HelloFresh developing meal boxes, which are delivered to your door. HelloFresh advertises the ability to choose and cook scrumptious meals without any of the faff. No trapezing, trekking, or trying to make time you don't have. The company promotes the inclusion of quality ingredients to produce healthy food with no waste. Research and create a recipe book for one meal. The box must contain the recipe card with the method, a quality of equipment needed, and all the preparation ingredients to make the dish. You must bring this box with you to the first practical lesson. This will be confirmed by email. Your meal must contain no more than 700 calories, include in nutritional analysis, use the nutritional program. Your meal must also cost no more than £8 and serve 2 people. Please provide a costing. So you're going to look at a recipe book. You're going to create a small recipe book, but the most important thing is you are going to research one meal in depth. Okay, the box must contain a recipe card. So you must put together a recipe card with the ingredients, etc., what it said on the list. Okay, you must use your nutritional program. No more than 700 calories. Okay, and it cannot cost more than £8. So that's going to be really important when you're doing the costing as well. All right, so this is what you're going to, this is your task for the summer. And it would be really, really good to see a photograph of the meal that you have really looked into, okay, for the summer, so then I can mark it and give you an assessment and the detail that you put in there, okay. I will put also that you need to purchase the WJEC Level 3 Certificate in Food Science and Nutrition. It's by Anita Tull, okay, and it's got everything in there that you need that will help you to achieve the 2 years in the course. You will use the book on a regular basis. Okay, so I would recommend that you purchase it. We do not have any in school. Unfortunately, they're not the cheapest book, but you may find them cheaper on Amazon, but they are around about £30. But it's going to be a book that you will use for throughout the 2 years. Okay, so I hope you enjoy the course. And I will look forward to seeing you in September. If you have any issues whatsoever, or you want to chat regarding what I've asked you to do, my email is tlund@bestacademies.org.uk, and you can get in touch at any time. Okay, thank you.